One day he walked past my desk and he made like a grunting sound, like, He comes by my desk and goes, "Hey there, hot chocolate." And I'm like, or "Hey, hot chocolate." He didn't say "Hey there," he said, "Hey, hot chocolate." Oh, no one was around. He didn't look at me, he said it.
So that is Perkita Burgess, one of several women making claims of sexual harassment against former Fox News host Bill O'Reilly. He and Fox reaching an agreement this week that he would not be returning to the network, his departure coming amid growing outrage over reports of $13 million in payouts he and Fox made to settle sexual harassment claims. In a statement, Bill O'Reilly denied all the claims, saying, quote, "It is tremendously disheartening that we part ways due to completely unfounded claims." For more on this, I am joined by civil rights attorney Gloria Allred. Gloria, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for inviting me.
Do you think Bill O'Reilly losing his gig at Fox News is about morality or money?
Well, it appears to be a severance agreement in which he's getting a substantial payout. And, you know, any corporate employer has to do a calculus when allegations of sexual harassment are made. What effect does it have on the brand? What effect does it have on the network? What effect does it have on the victim, the alleged, the one who's alleging sexual harassment? What effect does it have on the supervisor, the employer? All of these things have to be taken into account. In the end, the advertisers spoke, and they fled for the door. There was a stampede, and that is why I think he is no longer going to be with Fox News Network.
When this came down the pipeline, Gloria, did you think it was actually going to happen? Did you actually predict Bill O'Reilly losing his job there, considering his popularity, his ratings, his loyal viewership?
Well, he was there for a long time. There were reports of allegations of sexual harassment in the news for many years. But finally, there was a tipping point. And I give a lot of credit not only to the advertisers, not only to the women who stood outside Fox News Network and protested, not only to the women who spoke out so bravely, including my daughter, but to everyone who did posts, who wrote to Fox News Network. It was a movement, and finally there was that breaking point, and now he's no longer with them. And I hope that it sends a message to employers across the country. Women are now empowered. They will not be silenced anymore. They know they have a right not to be sexually harassed in the workplace, and they're going to assert their rights. They're going to have their voice. They're going to speak out. And this is going to be a whole new world for employers, so they better get ready and make sure that women are safe and protected in the workplace, because now women have broken out of their fear and they are fighting back.
Well, let's quickly talk about that, because how do you change the culture at places like Fox News and other places? Because quite frankly, it's not just happening at Fox News, it's happening all throughout the country. You've represented a lot of these women in cases like this. How do you create a culture where women are comfortable coming forward, where they don't feel like they're necessarily going to lose their job, where they're not intimidated by their employers or their bosses? And on the flip side, create a culture where men aren't doing this, or where people aren't doing this.
Yes, we are the leading women's rights law firm in the nation and have been for 41 years, and we do a lot of sexual harassment cases. I say, women, if you are victims, consult with an attorney first, see what your rights are, see what your responsibilities are, find out how to go about asserting a claim, know the benefits, know the risks, and after you learn them, you can make an informed decision about how you want to proceed, if you want to proceed. And I think it's really important because women do have rights. They have rights not to be retaliated against if they protest sexual harassment. And I think they can assess the proof with their private attorneys in a confidential manner, and then they can make a decision about what they want to do. Eliminate the fear by knowing what your rights are, and once you have knowledge, knowledge will help you to make the best choice for yourself.
Well, yeah, I think that's a very important point, eliminating the fear by knowing what your rights are.
That's right.
That is so important. It's something for so many of us to remember going forward. Gloria Allred, thank you so much for your work.
Thank you.
And for joining us as well on this Saturday.